See if you can see my silly mug. Do that one more time. Make sure that you guys can see me here. Oh, there he is. Welcome everybody to WIP Wednesdays. Wowwy'z Workshop. How's everybody doing? Let me turn this down a little bit. Just a little bit. Little bit aggro on the blue there. Wowwy'z Workshop sign. How? Ciao! Already, guys, I come sliding in here, and we got the little pre-live show going down. We got Grumpy. Grumpy was the number one again today, guys. Grumpy, and then Lawrence came in after. Larry to friends and family, how you doing, Larry? And then we got Wheels. Chris Behringer is in the house, all the way from the UK, folks. Tribe worldwide. We are Tribe strong. Thank you for coming, folks. Yes, and if you don't know, Wheels is in the blue there, because he's the part of the mod squad, so don't watch the P's and Q's and all that stuff, or he'll just give the old boot. We'll give the old boot. Don't got much time for haters around here. Hey, my brother is here. Hello, Darren. Bing! That is why I wear this. This is one of the new ones I got with the rating on this one. The other one don't have it. But I got that new shirt made up from Vistaprint. Bing! You know? Batman, and people say, what's with all your symbol all the time? Hey, did Batman put a Batman sign on his stuff? I think he did. I'm not saying I'm a superhero, but hey, man, you got to represent. Love you, brother. How? Just Carver Rob is here. Hello, Robbie. You like that one? I'm just kidding. Black Widow Woodworking is here. Tim, everybody slide in. All the mods. We got three mods in here now. No, and Grumpy too. Jeez, we got 4 mods in the house right off the bat. How is everybody doing? Everybody say hello. Hey, one of mine is here. Tim List is here. My goodness, folks. Rolling right in. This is awesome. Tribe strong. Hey, Mark is here. Mark tries to carve. Mark Anthony from New Zealand, folks. Jeez. That is awesome. Tribe worldwide. I just posted a video, you guys. It's a 1-minute video. And the way I did it as a regular proper video that would to play, you know, on the TV and stuff. Not a reel, or a short, I should say, in YouTube land. But it was for my OBS intro for this show. And so Perry the Carving Wizard, God bless him, and thank you, sir, for all your help. I put this video together, and I worked really hard on it. I made the sound on Suno and got it all ready because I wanted it to be the intro, the 1-minute intro for this live show. And we got and we did I had FaceTime going on here. I had my OBS set up. Perry was all set up on his end, and he was streaming me. I shared the URL. Like, this kid has been teaching me everything, right? And we got it all set up, and we tried it out with my new video, and I could see my feed through his little camera, and it was just oh my God, just chopped it all to crap, which means like my tech ain't enough, right? I gotta upgrade my tech. Or dumb Wowie is just pick something that's just a 5-minute or a 5-second little tiny loopy kind of thing if you want to have a little an intro. But as always, Wowie goes overboard. I over process things. I obsess about stuff, and I tried to make it so it didn't work, and it was like I felt like it was going to be wasted. So I just posted it. But I didn't. It's not in vertical. It's not filmed to be in vertical. It's supposed to be in this. So I just posted it as a regular video. Already hit somebody. That hater out there just loves to freaking haunt Wowie, with the one ding dong. But hey, joke's on you because it's still engagement. So YouTube still likes it. So thank you. My God. Everybody is big. Whoa, let me see. Yeah, Larry the Flasher. That's right, Rob. I gotta show my symbol to everybody. Everybody's just saying, love the new intro, says one of mine. Thank you, brother. Yeah, I really wanted it to be on for this show through the OBS, but it was just too much. It was too much. So maybe I'm just gonna I don't know because you know what? To be honest, even when I turn that noise off, and Perry and I were just talking back and forth. Through one camera, it was okay, but as soon as I added like 2 cameras to my scene, this encoder overload warning was coming up across the bottom. And so I went and I YouTubed it, because we're learning all of this off YouTube and off of the the kindness of friends, Perry the Carving Wizard. And I tried to, I found a couple more things that I could do to fine tune it. But I don't know. We got good internet here. I just don't know. But yeah, no, OBS said nope. No go, Wowie, no go. Hey, John is here. Hello, John, how you doing? Hey, Joseph Keller is here. Thank you, Joseph, for coming. We were chatting earlier, brother. Right on, man. I'm glad you made it. And I was also talking to old Christopher's Creations this morning. Hey, Happy Curmudgeon is here. Hello, Matthew. It's great. Roll with it. You make a new one every week or so. That's right. That's what I'll do. And I'll just post it on Wednesday. And maybe even use like the same audio. I'm just answering one of mine here. Sorry, guys. But he was just saying that the intro video is cool. I thought it was cool, too. I don't know why someone right off the bat gave me the old bugs down. Maybe it's because I'm doing a little dancing in it, and some people don't like that. Well, yes, I'm freaking screwed up and disabled, but I can still bop to the tunes. I can still bop to the beat in my brain, right? Jesus. That's it. This is awesome. Everybody's coming rolling in. Oh, I have family in for Thanksgiving. Have a blessed show, everybody. That was Lawrence. Just said that he can't hang out because he's got family. But hey, thank you, Larry, for tuning in. Just tuning in. Even if I got to tell Claire too. Even if she's going to bed, if she sets her TV up for this, if she puts my live on her TV and hits mute and just lets it play, that really, really helps with the old algorithm hamster. Oh, speaking of Algie the algorithm hamster, have you seen him? There he is. All the way from France, you guys. There's Algie the algorithm hamster. If you give this stream a like, he gets a pellet. But you know what he really likes? He likes yogurt drops. And you got to subscribe to give him that. And that's Algie. And Claire made him special for the show. Joe! I love Algie. I love Algie. I don't want... Whoa! I thought that was a bug. Jeez. Got a little fan going here. Depression Talk is here. Hello, Depression Talk. Thank you for coming, man. Tim List is here. Hello, Tim. Thanks for coming, folks. This is awesome. This is awesome. You know, it was a bit of a quiet morning. I didn't know if anybody was going to come by. And I got cut off. But Darren, I was talking to Christopher's Creations. The guy that just loves your art, especially your art, but the art of Two Brothers, One Vision, but especially he loves Darren's art and the copper work. And he showed me a lamp he made this morning that is just frickin' wicked, Darren, and you'd be proud too. And it's just the way we do it. Fire bulb inside. He brass leafed or gold leafed the interior. He's got, it's like this weird hollowed out gnarly kind of stumpy thing that's all hollow, and he put the light in it just like we do. He even got a static grass applicator and put static grass on the base like we do on ours. Like it is so cool to see somebody that gets inspired by the stuff that we're putting out here, and he does it, and then he shows it to me, and my goodness, man, tear to old Wowwy'z eye. And he was showing me things that he's wrapping copper and crystals and stuff, and then making staffs and wands, and it's just if Darren was an old Jedi in the underbelly, you know, and just doing his thing, and old grumpy old Jedi, if he had a Padawan, it would be Christopher's Creations, because this kid just loved, it's just a chip off the old block. Is that how you say it? It was so cool, man. I'll show you, Darren. Really, really cool. The snow is blowing in West Michigan. Is it? Is it, Rob? Just Carve Rob is here. Did I mention that? Looking for love in all the right places. Sorry, man. I get excited. Snow would blow in Michigan. I saw that the eastern states and then sort of down the center are really, really getting hit. Hey, we've been lucky out here. It's still, we have roses blooming because it's really, really weird. The whole season and the cycles are all kind of just out of whack. That's all I can say. And there's like flowers and stuff, but you know, we know that the cold is coming, but we've been really, really lucky so far. That's right. Hit that like, feed that little hammy. That hammy needs it. Yes, Joseph, thank you. I'm well. I hope you are too. These hearts for all you folks in the... And we got Chris Behringer. Claire's work was awesome, says Chris. Yes, Chris is referring to our new Tribe Mail video that's out. And it was featuring Claire, a gift from Claire. And my goodness, man, she got wowie. She kept on saying, it has to be a reaction video. I have to see your face. And I was like, well, why? Like, you know that I really appreciate, like, I always just like, like, what has she got up her sleeve? Because she didn't want the overhead and me talking. She wanted to be able to see my face. And now I know why. Because she made me cry on live television. Well, in a reaction video. Bloody cold in the UK at the moment. Send some sun your way. Yes, I will, brother. Here's some 100s and a little party one. And some hearts. Sent your way. But yeah, and Joseph Keller, I wanted to say, I was talking to him this morning. I woke up really in a lot of pain because there is, even though that we don't have blowing snow and everything yet, the climate has changed enough where it's a lot more rain, and even though the plants don't know it, Wowwy'z back knows it, right? So I woke up today and I was all creaky and oh God, and I was like, oh my goodness, it's WIP Wednesday and I gotta get ready for the show. And I was hurting really bad and just, second guessing myself because it happens. I come out here and I'm really excited and everything. But it's in the background, I still got chronic back pain. And so he just sent a really awesome email in the morning just saying, just saying, shine your light, bro. There are those of us out here that appreciate you. And I just want to say thank you, Joe. You're a new friend to the tribe and family. And that stuff really matters to Wowwy. So thank you. Thank you very much. Oh yeah, Grumpy. He says if I could send you some sun, I would. Grumpy's down in Florida. Tribe worldwide. Joe. Goodness sakes, it's effing cold here, and Black Widow Woodworking. That's in southern Alberta. A Canadian brother. You're old when you throw your back getting out of bed. Oh my goodness, Mark, isn't that the truth? And Joseph says, you're so welcome, brother. Thank you. That's right, Alberta. Alberta, Canada. That's where I got my a lot of my vocabulary. Like fucking-ear. Fucking-ear is one of my favorite words. You can use it so many. It's so versatile. What else? What do we got going? My manners. LaRue is in the house. Everybody say LaRue. Hello, LaRue. LaRue takes care of the music and all of the audio here. So that new intro that you guys saw with the really cool, yeah, that was LaRue. That was LaRue. I can't believe somebody gave him the thumbs down. My goodness. What else we got here? Hey, we got a little watcher in the house. I brought this little guy out just so I could, use him as an example because we're going to be talking watchers. We're going to be carving watchers today, guys. That's one that's going to be going. This little watcher is about to go on one heck of a trip to the other side of this planet. I don't want to say too much more and ruin any surprises. I don't know if the recipient is watching, but this little watcher is going way farther than Wowwy'z ever went. What else we got here? We got this little, oh my goodness. This is Felix, you guys. This is what we've been working on the past weeks. And we got him to the point where I'm pretty happy with him. I got lots more sanding to do. But that's just the plight of Wowwy. I'm always sanding. And we got this here, right? This is the watcher, the oak watcher that we started last week. And we're going to keep working on him, ruin our burrs, because it's so hard. But hey, it's time for the watchers, because the watcher challenge is on, folks. And that has been extended till January 1st. So make sure you get your watchers done and your pictures sent to Wowwy'z Workshop, gmail.com. Or if you're a friend of mine on Facebook, send it in a messenger. I got a special album on my phone. As soon as I get it, ding, ding, ding. I ain't missing nothing. All right? Hey, Kat is here. Hello, Kat. Thanks for coming, sister. She loves Felix. Hey, Old Path is here. Hello, Old Path. Yes, I gotta watch what I say about what I'm sending to what parts of the world. Thank you, Kat. Oh, Kat says it's getting cold in there too, where she's at. Feeling the storm headed to West New York myself today. WNY, Kat? Yes, you carved too, Black. Tim carved like a watcher and a smaller watcher, almost like a parent and a child. It was really, really cool. You guys are going to see them all when we do the big, huge finale, because I'll be making a video for them all, and we're going to do a huge. I got news, guys. Just want to make sure I talked everything here. Whoa, hey, what's in this? This is actually what it was. Oh, you guys know. I was out here getting ready for the show, and I was thinking about this, and I'm like, heavy on your lemon, and keep your honey running. Don't worry about the bad days. They can't always be sunny. Just think about the good folks in your life, like you all in this live stream. Heavy on your lemon, and keep your honey running. All right. Joe! That was a freaking moth in that? That's what I was doing while I was standing here waiting for this timer to go down, was write that stupid little song. How was that? Joe! Everybody's still saying hello. I just want to make sure I haven't missed nothing. Hey, Aaron is here. Hello, Aaron. Thank you for coming. That's awesome. Yeah, hit those likes. Well, he needs them. The algorithm needs them. Algorithm hamster. Algae. Come on. It's for algae. Jesus. So yeah, that's what's on the table here. I was thinking about maybe making this watcher into a lamp, into a light piece, but because I don't have, this was a post. This was a freaking old, thrown aside oak post for some type of, probably a stairwell or something, a post in a home. And so I don't got a lot of material this way. And when you're doing the watcher, when you're doing them as a light piece, you got to get in here, you got to carve first with a spade bit. You carve a big enough hole for the little tiny chandelier socket, E12 chandelier socket to be precise. Okay? And that's got to go at an angle because of the angle of your drill, right? And then from there, once you get that in, and that little socket is about 3 inches long. So you got to have that in there, okay, a 3-inch. And then from there, you got to be able to carve down all the way and I got a 2-inch 3/8 drill that I can just put in here and it come out the back. But I don't really like how that looks, right? And so what I would do is I would go in this way up to a certain degree and then match it this way, okay? If I turn this into a lamp. But that's a big if because it's a lot of frickery. I almost said the proper way. Let's just say frickery, okay, involved. So I don't know yet. Because I do know we got some bigger crystals that this one could be holding. So maybe you guys chime in and I'll try and read it. Let me know if you guys think I should try making a lamp out of it or if it's too slender. And we're going to work on that. And I was saying that it was wrecking my burrs, but I was looking here, and while we got this stuff back when I was, sometimes they haven't contacted me in a long time, but sometimes I'll talk to Dremel. Like one time I was on this board where they were showing me top secret stuff. They were showing me tools that haven't been made yet, but they're all concepts. So it was a concept group chat, right, that I did on Zoom a while back. And they haven't contacted me in a long time. Maybe I said too much. Joe! Like I always do. But I got these for taking part in that. And I was just going to throw them in as prizes, which I still may do to the ones that I don't open. I got 3. But I was thinking for this thing, for this oak thing, crack that, like at least, this one's like a taper, like an extreme taper, basically, if you're talking in Kutzall terms. So that'd be good with getting up there and getting inside here and shaping all around and shaping the facial part of the watcher and not ruin all of my good Kutzall burrs. So I don't know, I might do that. But if you didn't know, we are Kutzall affiliates. Using our link will only get you 5% discount for now. We're just started. But it really, really helps the channel if you use our Kutzall link and then just buy something. But I got big news, because if you use our Kutzall link tomorrow, I don't think I was supposed to say this today, but I'm on, this is when I'm here, and I'm on here, and I got you guys. So starting tomorrow is the huge sale, their Black Friday sale. Tomorrow is 30% off of all Kutzall. And Friday is 20%, and Friday in the weekend is 20%. So 30% tomorrow. Please use our link. The 5% won't be applied to the 30% off, okay? But it still helps if you use our link. And we truly appreciate it. But 30% off Kutzall tomorrow, and then 20% off for the what is it called? Black Friday and something Monday? Cyber Monday. That's right. Sorry, man. I was getting that wrong. I was trying really, really hard to do my homework and say that right. So, if you would, use our link, and tomorrow, get yourself some tools. Buy your loved ones who are carvers, buy them some tools. Like, they don't have sales like that often, you guys. Yes, hit that freaking heart, because that's a wicked one. Hey, Ray and Sandy's is here. Hey, Delon is here. Hello, Delon. How are you doing? Hey, Pours In With Love is here. Poured in with love. My goodness. Tribe Worldwide. Hey, David Grass Sr. Oh, hello, David. Thank you very much, sir. I love David Grass. He's from the old school. He's from the Carbon Fusion OG, David Grass is. And I have much respect for you, sir. Thank you for coming on over. Ciao! Delon is here. Yeah, and Delon. Hey, Matt Carves is here. Geez, did I talk for that long? Hello, Matt. Thank you for coming, sir. That is awesome. And I was watching Delon. I didn't spider check that mug before you take a gulp. Yes, I have to, Matt. I think there was a moth in that one. Jeez. Heavy on the lemon. And keep your moths soppy. Jeez. Mothy soppy. But Hakutu. Hey! Making sure that I haven't missed anybody. Man, you guys just all come piling in. Make a Wowie feel so very, very special. Thank you. Jeez. You guys are the best. Tribe strong. Tribe worldwide. That's right, Kat. Yes. Yes. All of these hearts are for you guys. Frickin' rights. Thank you guys for coming. I swear, like, it's very, very meaningful and appreciated when you come to this live show. It's my most favorite time of the week. It's the time I get all my friends and tribe and family to come here, and we all just have a wicked day and a wicked time. And yeah, it means a lot to me. All right? If I haven't said that already. So, we're going to do some carving. Oh, Wowie, you dumb Wowie. I got the big news, the big prize news, because I've told you guys before that Kutzall is donating to, so it is donating, or they are donating, not it, they're donating this fine detail burr kit, okay? And they're also sending the variety 1/8 5-piece rotary burr kit. Okay, it's up there holding a battery for my mushroom. It's a long story. But they're donating too. And I said to Mike, like, well, if somebody on somewhere crazy in the world gets pulled, I'm sorry. I'll send you money to cover for shipping. He's like, no worries. You just, after you've done your thing, you send me the addresses and it'll get shipped from Kutzall directly. So I don't even have to do the hopscotch and, you know, the hot potato past me in the thing, and then I have to pay for the shipping. So that's coming, right? So you got 2 Kutzall Burr kits. These things retail for around, I don't know, $80 or something American. Like, it ain't no small prize, okay? So we got 2 of those. So that'll be 2 draws, because we're going to do as many prizes as we can. And then guess what we bought? Oh boy. I went on and checked Amazon for the Black Fridays, and they had the Dremel 4300/5, I believe. It's like one of the newest ones. And it's a kit, so you get a nice case and everything, and then it's a little set of the little bits that they send with all of their Kutzall kits, right? But it's the 4300, and it's the big prize, okay? Regular 160 or 165 bucks Canadian, and I got it on a humdinger, just under 100 Canadian, and that's for you guys. So we got the frickin' 4300, we got Bernice B. Bright, the candlestick wood spirit that I carved, and we got 2 Kutzall kits. Ow! How do you feel about that, folks? Where the wind blows is here. Hello, sister. How are you doing? That is awesome. Morning, everybody saying hello. Tribe worldwide today, guys. That's awesome. So yeah, it's making up to be one heck of a, and then like I said, if I got any of these freaking Dremel ones left, because I appreciate them and stuff, but they've been kicking around for a long time because I'm a Kutzall man. Right? Everybody's still saying, there's a lot of people here. It's all still saying hi. Damn, that Weekz Wowie proud. Thank you guys very much. So, my brother is going to be happy with this one. 2:27. 27 minutes I've been yelling at you guys. Time just flies when you're listening to Wowie yell. So what I'll do is we'll get the camera pointed over this way at least, so you're just not looking at my silly mug. And yeah, we'll just chat a little bit about what's on the table. Well, I might as well do this now. Get it over with. Oh, I swear to God, guys, if I can get the OBS to work, it's going to be so cool. And Perry was impressed with all the stuff, like all the homework I'd been doing, but it just would not work. It would not work, man. Because I'm, you know me, I overdo stuff. And so I was like, yeah, okay, my scene, after I've already talked to you guys about the intro that didn't work, that failed, and I just had to post it, but I had all these scenes, right? So I had one scene where I had 4 different camera angles. Then I had one scene that was overhead with music. Then I had one scene that was this overhead plus facing me. I had one scene that was just facing me to do my thing that you just saw, right? So I had all of these scenes set and programmed and ready. And as soon as I went to a scene that was like 2 camera angles or more, that encoder alarm was going off on the bottom of the stream thing, saying encoder, I can't even remember. It was just basically nope. In other words, nope. And it was just a frickin' skipping, lagging on Perry's end. So yeah, I don't know if I can make it work with this laptop that I have. That was given to me from a great friend out there, and I really, really appreciate you, sir. And I appreciate this thing. This is my main computer, right? But it's an older Mac, and I can't update it. So I think that's a problem, that if my computer hasn't been updated either in a long time, that the OBS doesn't really like it that much. But there's a couple more things. There's this thing that I can set to ultra fast or something that has to do with the lagging and the internet. And I gotta try that, and I gotta set the priority in my computer that OBS gets top priority over other programs. And then also, I can't run my YouTube live, like looking at the YouTube and then having the OBS on another window, having them both run at the same time was also causing problems. So I'm sorry, man. I'm trying so hard to give you guys the frickin' ultimate viewing experience. But it didn't work. Joseph is asking for muffed up OBS. Yeah, And I try, I'm really, really trying, but, oh, John says the Dremel Flexshaft is on sale too. Well, maybe I'll get one of those and throw them in too there, sir. But I actually do need that. Thanks for telling me, John, because I do need one for backup. You always need a flex shaft on backup if you're a power carver, kids. It's just the way it is. The way she goes. Here's a couple of hearts while I'm just on the old pewter. But yeah, it did not allow me to do those things. But I ain't giving up. I ain't giving up. And I just got, that's Larry luck. I told DeLon when our interview, like something, it was YouTube's fault. It wasn't DeLon's or my fault or my internet connection. But most of my interview was all chopped up. And that's just Larry luck. Sometimes it's really good. Sometimes. Hey, did I say, somebody just said hello to Jordy? Hello. I reckon you do awesome without the OBS, says Matt. Well, thank you, sir. And that really means a lot to me, man, because I look up to your channel and I see the stuff you do. And my God, it's just like, why can't we do the same as these big guys do? But I don't know. But I think I do pretty good with just one. Even though I have to bump around and make people car sick when I move my camera around. But Jordy Johnson is here. Hello, Jordy. Hey, were you the one that hit the thumbs down because of my video I just posted with a little bit of wowie bopping to the beat? I'm just kidding. But I know Jordy don't like that. That upset me big time, says DeLon. Oh, man. It was weird, eh? But we're going to do it again. Because like I said, Wowwy's got a lot to say. Oh, yeah. I was just getting started, my friend. I was just getting started, my friend. Sorry, I just spit on my computer. Electric Whittler is here. Hello, Josh. How you doing, brother? Joe! The whole tribe is here. And Jordy's been really, really working hard on on his watcher. And I want to tell you, Jord, you got this, buddy. You're doing really, really wicked. He's writing really, really cool. He's really writing a really, really cool background audio stuff. Like he's putting a lot of attention and time into it. And I sure, it really, really matters to old Wowie, Jord, that you're doing that and supporting. And just got Rob is taking part too, I've heard. Wink, wink, Rob, January 1st. But it really means a lot. Thank you. Yes, working on it now, says Jordy. Joe! Awesome, bro. Well, thanks for taking a break. Popping in. See, there's Wowie's little watcher. Just very, very basic. That was just a piece of 2x1. 1 in a 1? That was a 1x1? No. It was little. I'd say more like a 1.5 by a 1.5. But, just a couple of carves in here and there and just a little bit of shape for the hood, You can take, a long, skinny piece of wood. Sorry, excuse me. Make it into a watcher. And just to be, I'm going to say this, Jordy, I was just talking about the 4300 that we got as a prize. But just to be clear now, on the watcher subject, you guys, I got to say this. This whole concept is inspired by the watchers from the Bible. But Wowwy's watchers are inspired by a multitude of stories, okay? Navajo, ancient sky visitors, the ant people. Wowwy's watchers are basically otherworldly protectors of mankind that come with gifts for our betterment. Inspired by the stories of Enoch, the stories of Daniel, okay? We're not reflecting the stories word for word. It is inspired by. And Jordy, that's what you got to tell people when they make a comment about read your Bible and stuff like that. Hey, this is inspired by those stories, okay? Not based on the stories. There's a big difference. All right? All right, I had to get that off my chest. Jordy says, I'll tell him to FRO. FRO and mind your own. I'll probably carve a smaller one too, says Jordy. Hey, that's awesome. Well, I saw it say, hi, Porous, tell him to, it just confuses me. Yes, I understand, bro. It's the whole concept and idea is very, very complex. Like, you could just say it's like the watchers of the Bible are basically the heads of all angels. They're the heads. And then in the story of Enoch, 200 of them broke away and they rebelled from heaven and came to earth and mixed with the daughters of man. And from that mix, the Nephilim were created. And those were the giants from those old stories, okay? And that's the Bible. Those are the Bible's stories, okay? We're just based on, we're making, it's a wood spirit, sentinel, guardian, protector of mankind, and it's a Wowwy'z watcher, okay? And I take a lot of the ancient Navajo stories, because some of you have seen that the biggest watcher I've ever made has antlers, and that's because if you look at the petroglyphs in the southern states, they got petroglyphs where these gods or sky cousins came, and they're just these big daunting forms with antlers and like no facial features, just powerful, right? And like lines coming out of them and big halos and stuff and antlers on some of them. So that's why my biggest watcher has antlers. So yes, Wowwy'z watchers are inspired by a whole bunch of tales, all brought into one protector, top head of the angels kind of deal. These are the bosses, and they're for love and hope, But the watchers can also reflect, what's going on with mankind. Wowwy'z watchers can. So that's why I say you can make it your own. Make it your own. Have your own flair in it. Have your own take. If you want to put facial features on it, do so. But Wowwy'z, there were stories that I were inspired by, and they were one of the stories that always stuck to me, and you can see if you look at my watchers, was that they had faces of fire reflecting the fight, like the light that they were holding, and you couldn't see their faces. It was just a mixture of fire from the fire that they were holding, right? Holding the hope, holding the love for man. Maybe they came with the gift of fire, and that's why their faces were all lit up. But that always like struck really, really deep with me. And so that's why I like to make mine kind of genderless, featureless, because it also just ties into the whole otherworldly aspect of it, right? So yeah, don't take no crap from those guys, Jordy. Everybody likes to, correct and say, no, you did that wrong, but you didn't do nothing wrong. We haven't done nothing wrong. These are Wowwy'z watchers. All right, I'm glad I got that off my chest. Hello, Bill. Hey, Christy is here. You came back, Christy. Christy from Lake Erie. Hey, Bill Morseman is here. It couldn't be more fitting for the times we're in. Thank you, Bill. Jordy says mine is inspired by ballpoint hammers. Holy smokes, I wonder what that is. The Archangels, yes, that's right, Black Widow. Jordy says shrooms. Yeah, I'm on the West Coast. No snow on Vancouver Island, and I'm thankful, because here it's not fun. Like when I grew up in Alberta, and that was fun snow, right? We skied, we snowboarded. We had skidoos out of my grandma's house. We had these GT snow racers, and you should have saw the shit we did behind a skidoo, man. All the kids had their GT snow races, and we would just go for like the whole day from dawn till dusk out behind the skidoo on our GT, jumping ditches, and we had so much fun in that snow. That's the kind of snow if you're gonna have snow. But out here it's slurpy. It's like lurpy falling from the frickin' sky. It's sloshy, and then because our temperature out here, we have like micro environments, they call them, or micro something, but like it'll freeze overnight and then be thawing in the morning, and everything just turns to a goddamn icy, slushy like hell zone. And I'm not kidding you, it's bad. Like lots of people, if a big snow falls, people don't go to work out here because we don't have the backup and the machines and stuff and the salt for the roads, and we don't have all that like Alberta. Alberta's got big bins of salt that are just on the sides of highways because they know what shit's coming, right? Carving Fusion says, hey, did you notice your new video has a thumbs down? Was that freaking you, Jordy? Why? Because I was bopping? Oh, you know what? You know what? I'm not going to say nothing. Bear's here? Hey! Bear Boss Lady says, heck yeah. Thanks, Bear. Was that you, Jordy? It was him. I freaking knew it, man. I knew it. I knew it. Oh, my goodness. Thank you. Thank you for reminding me that the haters are out there. Please change it. Please change it. Freaking rained on my parade. That's fucking funny. Here, these hearts are for you, Jordy, because I knew it. We're connected. Me and Jordy are good friends, and he knows I know. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Because that deserves to be at 100%. That's a pretty cool intro, I must say. Can't believe it didn't work on my OBS. Okay, enough of that. We got to make some noise. We got to make some watchers. So I got to put this watcher, because like I said, this is going on a long trip, you guys, to some really, really good people. A person, I mean. Possibly on the other side of the world. We don't know. But that watcher's going on a trip. LaRue is in the house. I know, I already showed you guys. There's LaRue. Ree-hoo. Alrighty. Get LaRue away from the danger. Oh my goodness. If you guys just saw what's behind the camera, it's just a freaking mess. All my new DeWalt things, I don't have places to put them. And oh yeah, speaking of DeWalt thing, you guys, after this is said and done today, what are we going to do to the watcher? We still have to carve deep. We got to carve in deep. We got to make some shadow underneath the hood here. We got to carve in deep in here so that we can get in here and carve a space for the watcher to be holding something. We got to carve in deep here and get this shadow to pop. We got to carve in deep right here and make the foot pronounced. And then we got to carve some, like, I'm going to carve some lines in on the sides to kind of show the arms of the watcher, of the cloak. And I didn't really figure out how I was going to do that. We got a whole bunch of stuff. And sanding my nut off. Always sanding. Christy, dance here. Fabric ripples, yes. I was thinking, you know, like what I was thinking here, because this is kind of like where the two hands come together. I was thinking of doing lines on either side here, and just have it so that there's a bit of a, you know, that line of the arm. Because we've got such a long, skinny freaking canvas, you really have to think about, you know, each move that you make. Because when you're doing something like this, you don't have all of that playroom where, oh, if I mess it up, I'll just carve it away and just carve deeper. Because if I do that, you know, if I do that, I ain't gonna have a carving left. So I got to think about how exactly would I do that. I think maybe with just angles, like not even carving the whole line of, but just an angle here and an angle there, like carving that in on either side gives you the impression of the way that it'll make more sense when you see it, when I do it. And then these here, I might just try and carve them in. Like, of course, I'm going to carve that old whatever that was sealed with. I'm going to carve that off and then try and kind of make those parts of the robe and incorporate them. But they're not going to be like wavy robe. This is very straight and linear. This watcher is more of just, you know, your sentinel, just a big being off in the distance watching us, watching over mankind. Oh, they're just talking. Yeah, hit the like if you don't mind. You know, we got Algae, the algorithm hamster. If you hit a like, he'll get a pellet. If you subscribe, he gets a yogurt drop. Man! Do I have to say it twice? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Claire made that. Freaking really, really cool. Hey, Dad is here. No, bro. Hey, anytime you can tune in, Scott, is just fine with us. Everybody's talking, seeing if Mark is settled in yet with this new place. Mark's in the middle of moving and stuff. Saying hi to Electric Whittler. Man, the Electric Whittler, I saw a short and he showed all of his spoons, his collection of spoons. Frick, man. I wasn't kidding when I said you made my heart happy. That stuff. Yes, the angle will turn into a gentle slope curve for where the arms are. Like if it was like this, right? It would be this angle. Just slight things that tell a story. If that makes any sense. Tarek is here. Hello, Tarek. Hey, no problem, Josh. That was frickin'. Those are really, really well done, my friend. My brother, I should say. Christy says, okay, that makes sense. No, yeah, it's weird, but I promise it will make sense. And I can already tell, because old Wowie, like I should make a line right across, and then I can know, because I do not want to, when you're doing like those, they got to be perfect. Or it's going to be very, very noticeable. And I don't want that. So I'm going to carve them in. We're going to do some work on the back there. We are going to, I will use that. And one of these has got a ball nose. That could be pretty useful in getting this stuff on the inside out. You know, this oak. Well, I thought Felix was the hardest wood I've ever carved. The flower pot that I just put aside, but no, this just took the frickin' first place for the hardest wood. Yes, I was gonna say, Delon, really, really cool fairy and gnome homes that you've been making, and congrats on your views. That's really, really great, brother. These are for you. It just, it's just good to see the numbers reflect, because I know how much Meraki is involved and invested. And Meraki is like the love you put into creating. Christy says, I'm more myself a 2D medium user as far as my artwork. The only 3D medium I do is ceramics. I do mostly paintings and pencil drawings. That's awesome, Christy. I would love to see some of your art, sister. That sounds really, really cool. Hey, Mike is Making Stuff is here. Hello, Mike. Thanks for coming, man. Yes, that is the 100,000 hits art. It's true. It's really, really cool to see the tribe. Their hard work and time paying off, Because we're all in this together. You know what? There was this one meme that says, you can't compete with me because I'm rooting for you too. Right? Isn't that the frickin' truth? You can't compete with me because I want you to win. Okay, just one sec here. I don't need this fan. You're in my frickin' way. Jeez. I got such a tiny little workstation out here, you guys. No. This needs to come down just a tad bit more. Just a tad. And if that OBS would have worked, guys, I wouldn't have had to do none of this frickin' and fracking. But I appreciate that. Thank you, Matt, for saying that I do pretty good with just my one view. Now, is that going to be okay for a watcher view? What do you guys say? Yes, Mike is Making Stuff. Everybody's having a chill evening. Thank you, sir. I hope you're having a chill evening too, brother. It's freaking awesome that you popped over and said hello. Cat's B says 100%, Larry. That's a great motto. It is. It is. We're all in this together. That's what part of Tribe Strong means, right? These are for you guys. Thank you very much. Okay, well, I can zoom in more. If you guys think, yes, I can. Wow, look at that. That's probably a little bit better there. So, what do I got in the, oh yes, I had this one in here. This looks a lot like this Dremel one. And I put this in while I was getting ready because it's, and I'm just going to take it out quick and show you. This is a Typhoon burr from Fordham. And that's a pretty cool one. I've liked that one in certain parts. And so, and you know, when I became an affiliate with Kutzall, I told Mike, I said, I use like all sorts of things, and you know, I don't have a lot of money and this and that, and because my 2 Fordham burrs were bought for me as gifts. So, and he said, no, that's fine. And then we talked about a couple companies that, you know, he wasn't so cool with me talking about, and I agreed. And that's that. If I use, you know, a Dremel or a Fordham burr, I'm going to say so. Heavy on your lemon. No, I won't do that again. Moth-free this time. So I think I wanted to put this one on there and just see, going up in here a little bit. And to see how it likes the oak. See if it's going to play nice with me. Because when I make watchers, I really like to have a nice punch of shadow underneath the top of the hood. It's just a little thing I like to do. And I like the look of it. I like having a nice punch of shadow here, and I like having a nice punch of shadow in here. Okay? And then on either side of the face, you know, we're going to be very, very careful with how much we take off, but I like to go in deep on either side of the neck. And it just gives it more depth. And I was also thinking too, because I kind of make, so those things I was just talking about, where's my freaking pencil now? Jeez. It's my antique carving brush there. So I was thinking, so that's the chin there. So here would be the hood. The hood lines, but it's like, it's another angled one that just kind of gives you a little bit of movement and separation up here to show that that's the head part. So I'm going to do 2 of those there on the back. You feel me? So 2 of them in the front there. You see, when I look, this one needs to be higher for frick. But now, did I erase the right one? Yes. It's good to look into that thing because it gives you a good a mirror to see. I'm using the front of my camera, right? So everything I show you is flipped. That one's, see, now they're a bit more. Are they? What the fuck? Well, I swore. Sorry, Anwin, if you're watching. Or Allie. Try not to do that. Don't do that. Don't do that, Wowie. So yeah, that is the plan. We're going to do a couple of those, get a little bit more. But I think when I do those, they might not have so much of an angle that I'm talking about, but I might do those with like a bigger burr. Like my Kutzall Extreme. Now this little thing I love having this kicking around because I just put the main burrs that I'm using on that carve, and I put them on in there. And here's a bunch of those Dremel 7144 diamond burrs that I love so much on deck. They've been used a lot, but you just clean them with the. But yeah, I got my Kutzalls on deck and my 7144s that I love so much. Okay, we are going to put on some PPE. I'm gonna turn on, I'm gonna bring my little fan back now after I kicked it away. I just need a little bit of that, a little bit of this. There you go, Katie. I'm drinking my Sasquatch juice, like I promised I would. Yeah, so I don't pass out on live television. Carving Fusion Spider Check. Coming at ya. That was freaking funny, man. I knew it was Dirty Johnson who did that to me. Okay, I'll take this off. I know that doesn't look good on the live TV. No spideys. Alrighty, let's make some noise. Oh. Here we go. Maybe I will do that with this. Let's just go. Okay.
Just a little sanding. No. Let's do that. Okay.
This is the Kutzall Flame Extreme. Ooh. A wee quick break. Ooh. Whew. Just looking at my god-awful haircut after that. Hairdo, I should say. All right, guys. Looking good, Larry. I think it's going to be an awesome lamp. He's getting used to that hard wood, I see. People are talking about, that Jordy and Aiden got me started carving, says Scott. Mark Anthony is making a coffee table. It's being made out of a blue gum, hard as granite, but it has some nice pink hues in it. Oh, that sounds awesome, Mark. Hey, Roy's Timber Art Techniques is here. Hello, Roy. Thanks for coming, brother. Thanks for coming, Roy, and everybody that are still watching after that little session. And don't forget to hit that like, folks. You can just double tap your screen. Hit that little thumbs up dealy. You know, give Algie a pellet or two. So, as you saw, I got those. That's what I was brabbling and talking about there, Christy. I like that. Christy from Lake Erie. I like that. That's how I remember her. So here, I'm taking more. I want more of this material away so there's more of a pronounced hood, right? But basically, I could have just drawn one solid line. But I didn't know if I wanted those lines connected. I didn't know this. I didn't know that. But what I do know is that as you do that, it just gives a little bit more of a rounded hood. I don't want it to look like it has a hunchback. So to eliminate that, you take this. So imagine a line this way, right? That's the material that I got to take off. So I'm just going to draw a little line there. I want this to be like that on either side, meaning the material I want to take away, right? So all of this right here, I'm going to take away and make it so that there's more of a pronounced hood and not a hunchback, okay? Now I'm not going to mess too much more with these. I might just make it so that this graduates underneath here, like with a nice gentle slope, just to give it that little bit of delineation, okay? And then I got in there and started getting a little bit more of that shadow pop I want. And just to see, like, I was thinking about it as far as the whole lamp thing goes, right, guys? And I was like, okay, well, if I carve straight up and then try and meet it with the socket hole, will I have enough space to do what I want to in these areas, right? And I was thinking about it and thinking about it and I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, no, screw that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to carve this first and be safe while I'm doing it, and then reassess it afterwards and think, do I have the material now to hollow this out and make it a lamp? Or is it just going to be holding a crystal or something like that, right? So that's where I'm at so far with it. And looks like we still got a couple viewers, so thank you for hanging in there. I'm just going to take a tiny little break here. Make sure there's no questions or concerns. If any of you are concerned about old Wowwy and his moth juice, I must say, I got their sticker is where's this freaking sticker? May not be in here. I got a new sticker. It's called Dirt Patch Honey, and it's my good friend Christy Gale and her partner Mark. And Mark has his very own bees. He has his own bee farm in their backyard. And it's really awesome. He's doing really good. It's called Dirt Patch Honey. And they're on Instagram. And I just want to give him a shout out. Because when I say keep my honey runny, well, that's Dirt Patch Honey. All right. Keep it dirty. Oh, goo. Come on, wow. It's a family-friendly show. But yeah, my goggles did pretty good without fogging up that time. I'm just going to hit them with the old Joseph Keller. And forever, this will be called the old Joseph Keller trick. with the bounce sheet. You do your goggles with a little bounce sheet there, guys. Keep them from fogging too much there, people. It'll keep the fog down there, boy. And if you wonder what's with my crazy accent, that's how the East Coast folks talk in Canada. If you've never heard a Newfoundland accent, the best way to explain it is like a Canadian pikey. You know the movie Snatch? One of my most favorite movies. Well, I worked with some, we call them Newfies here, but it's a term of endearment because we love our brothers of the East Coast. But I've worked with some, I had a couple of bosses that were from Newfoundland, and I swear to God, especially on my first days there, I didn't know what the heck they would say. Bring it in there, boy. Get the thing, what's wrong with you, boy? Get that, bring it back to the green chain. I'd be like, what? I worked at on the green chain at this freaking lumber place, and my God, as the stuff shot out the end of this freaking machine, I had to grab the different boards to drag them over to the proper piles. And I had this Newfie boss that's yelling at me. I could barely understand him. But yeah, it's awesome. Love the Newfies. All right? Hey, Woodsyke is here, and So is here. Sister So. Hello, Paul. Paul, I saw your new Instagram dealio, and I believe I commented on that. And how you doing, So? I was about to say you sound just like Mickey. Seem to sort of sing thing. In the ball, thing thing. Periwinkle blue. Me mar likes a periwinkle blue. All right. I did that job, Larry. That's a tough job. Yes, it is. Math, and you know, like that's back when I had a very, very strong back. Yes, thanks, Larry. He said, well, okay, so I did comment because I know sometimes I think in my brain like, oh, I'm gonna say this and that, and then the fact that I thought it, sometimes I won't. I'll just then something will happen, and I'll think in my head that I commented, and that happens on YouTube too when I'm watching because I love all of your guys' artwork. I love each and every one of your shines, you know. And so sometimes I'll watch and then I'll think, oh, that was so wicked, freaking wicked job, brother. Keep up the good work. And then I'll get distracted because I'm very, very weird with my OCD and my frame of attention, and then I forget. But I think I said it. That's what I'm trying to say. Jeez. Wow. So yes, here's where we are so far, guys. Working on watchers, dreaming, loving, crying. Hey, Jane is here, tapping in late. Hello, Jane. And So, how are ya? Oh no, Johan caught the virus. That sucks. Bonjour, So. I knew you weren't well. I just kind of been watching there. I'm sorry I didn't comment or say anything, sister. I knew that you were hurting. And now Johan has it. Well, give my fist bumps to Johan. He's a good man. And I know you'll take care of him. He probably took care of you just great. You guys are great people. You love each other very, very much. I like that. You Wowwy'z kind of folks. So yeah, I was in there and just getting, like you say, I was getting used to the hardness of that. But then I was like thinking to myself after a freaking ramble jamble I just made about using these and not wrecking my Kutzalls. But I didn't do it. That would have been perfect for that. It's got a ball nose. So I still might do that for taking out this material, because basically all you're doing is like, and that's a good opportunity too. Like if I was outside and I had this in my Jawhorse, I would maybe even hit in here with a chisel. You know, I got chisels that I don't mind dulling, and that's also a good way to get rid of material. Because this is a fusion. Like Jordy, that's the way Jordy started his channel, and that's why he named it Carving Fusion, because you can be a type of carver where you're a multi-medium and a media artist, right? You can use all of the different techniques and combine them. And that's where the fusion comes from, right? So it was a very, very smart thing Smart concept Jordy made, because I'll use hand tools, I'll use gouges, I'll use whatever it is. If it's a nice sunny day and I'm out in the yard, I like to sit out there and use my flex cut tools, because you're getting a tan, you're looking good, and yeah, it's slow work, it's slower work, it's cleaner. You don't get covered in dust, because when you're covered in sweat, oh, any power carver knows, man. That fine dust from the power carver goes right to your sweaty body and it sticks. Well, even when I wear my coat here, it's the first thing I do after I go inside. After I have a quick puff of the medicine, I go up and I shower. Okay, enough. Wow, you Jesus. Make sure I haven't missed anybody's questions or comments, because I appreciate them all. Okay, people are just talking about so there, doing good. Jane says she's doing good. Thank you, sister, for coming. Wonder where Rhinestone is today. Yes, it's awesome when Woodside comes by. Really appreciate it. Roy's too. I love seeing you, Roy. Thank you. David Grass was here. Do you like being here with Larry and us? Absolutely. Thanks for leaving a thumbs up, says so. Thank you, so. These are for you. Bing-a-dam, ding-a-lang-dong. And I noticed today we're up to 760 subscribers, guys. You know what? That was the help of Jord, because he posted a recent video about his watcher, and he did it he actually showed Wowwy'z Workshop, the picture of my channel, my main channel graphics, so that everybody can spell it properly, because Jordy says it kind of differently. He says Wowzy, but he showed my channel and he put a link. And I noticed that I went from 741 to 760, and that's because of Jordy. And I really appreciate that, man. I thank him. These are for him, even though he doesn't like me giving hearts. He gets them anyways. Because everyone is a step towards where I want to get, and I want to be. And I will not give up. Wowie does not give up. I don't know if you guys have noticed that yet. Frick that. Okay, well, if you guys are still cool, watch a little bit more. I want to keep going. Go! Is this visual okay? Do you guys would you guys rather it closer, or is this okay? Somebody answer me. Pretty please. Pretty please. True dat, says Woodsyke. Yes. The support from our brothers and friends, and especially mentors, there's nothing like it. There is nothing freaking like it. It's fine, says Dad. Okay. All right. I will shut up and keep going. Thank you for all for being here. Oh, PPE. Here we go.
We got this.
Valley 72123. Hello.
Little Kutzall ball. Extreme. Oh.
Foggy windshield. Foggy, foggy windshield. Oh, smoke. Yo! Slow moving. Slow moving with this oak, guys. Holy smokes. Usually this much working on something like this, I'd be way farther ahead, but it is hard, man. But as you can see, it is coming together. The Watcher is coming to life. And now I gotta do a lot of sanding. I don't know if you guys heard me like go, whoa! But that's right there. My Burr took off on me. And that's like what, this is like a great example of why you gotta be very, very careful. If you got your hand there in the wrong spot, and that fricker takes off on you, it'll like, if it did that on oak, you can imagine what it does when it runs across your hand, right? Yo! We do not want that. So, what I'm trying to say is there's going to be some sanding going on, right? And if you guys saw me giving her, hopefully I'm not going to lose all my viewers on this, but I want to just quickly show you how I change my sanding quick. This one here is a machine that Pete Blair made for me. I have to take this one right out. You take off. So he had to make a special mandrel for this machine because it spins opposite of what regular ones do. So you get rid of that. I get my paper. Now, on Pete's machine, I'll use like a stiffer, a more stiff. Is stiffer a word? I don't know. But I'll go like 3 facing forward, and you just kind of make a star. That's how I do it, like a star. Like a Star of David would be the way of, the only way I know how to explain it. But like that, right? So you make a star. I go 3 on this stuff is really thick and sturdy. But this is Emory back sandpaper, you guys. And you just get it on a roll. You see here, I got some standing by. So I'm a sanding addict. And so that's Emory cloth sandpaper. The back of it is it's actual cloth, okay? So, now that I've made a big mess, you make your little Star of David there, stagger them, and then you look for your, now I got a spot here on my work table that I use. I got a special nail that I got in here with my burrs. You can tell that's my special Werkin nail, okay? So I put it into where I think center is. I get my ball peen hammer. Now there's going to be a bang, so don't be alarmed. I see around where my middle is, around where I think it is. I just eyeball it and go bang, 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 bang. Now I go give it a good twack with my nail, and then I get my awl. I use these all the time. They're awesome. Okay? And I take that, and I know on my awl whereabouts I got to push it to get to that perfect spot for this mandrel. Okay? Now, you put that back through your paper. Oh, push it really, really good. Push it. Push it good. And get your little nut back on there. Now, because of the way the sandpaper is, and when you stagger it 3 facing forward. Now I got thinner stuff that I use for my other mandrel, and I'm going to do that one quick too. I'll show you guys. Solving the problem. Solving the problem. What do we do here? Solving the problem. Okay. So that one's done. So I put that one back into the Pete Blair machine, and it's just basically like a rotary tool, but a bigger motor. And it's on my wall. He made a mount for it, and it's got a nice big click switch. So that one is done and ready. So I'll just turn that on, see? And now, like, because I just turned it on, I just loaded it, right? The edges are still sharp and square. But you see, like, I don't got my PPE on. Normally, if I put this on with my regular Dremel sander, it goes right in my face. But Pete made this one. Well, I think it's because the way the engine turned. He didn't really have any power over it, but he made this special one for the backward spinning one. Okay. Now I just make sure everything is good and tight. Okay, so that one goes up. Now this next one, this one here is in a regular rotary tool. It's actually a Black & Decker. Actually, I don't have to take this one out. So I just want to show you exactly how I do it. So this one here, if you just use the friction, so I lock the flex shaft, and then you just use the friction of the paper to unspin it. And you don't want to use your little washer that comes off. Okay, come on, get off there. Okay, so get your little washer, put that somewhere safe. Push out the old sandpaper. Give that the ping. Okay, now I got this stuff. Now this stuff here is a bit softer. And it's too bad that I bought it in sheets. And it was from my home hardware. here in Canada. And all it said on the back was Emory cloth made in the USA, medium, meaning the grit. And that's all it said. There wasn't even a company name or nothing, so I can't track it down. But Home Hardware discontinued this brand, so I just got what I got. But because this one's softer, I do 3 facing forward and 2 facing back. I make my star, like I showed ya. Okay. Get this one, put this one on. You don't want to fling that because this stuff is valuable. Okay, I get my nail, I go to that special spot. I call it the special spot because I do it every time in the same spot on my workbench, and there's like a crater. There's a crater hole. There we go. Sorry to the neighbors. Yeah, I'm gonna have to retire that nail soon. It's starting to bend. That just goes to show how much sound an old Wowwy does. Look at that, eh? Jesus. Okay, so back to my owl. I use it all the time. Ever since I learned the word, Darren and Just Cry Brog told me what the proper name was on one of these lives. Now I can't stop saying that. Stupid joke. Okay, now you just push that one back through. You put on your little washer. And then on this one, I just lock my flex shaft. I put it in the screw, and then I just spin it like that. And because of the friction of the sandpaper and the way I've staggered it, that you don't have to use, like it has a little tiny star on there. I've never used the screwdriver to tighten it. I just push in it and pull as hard as I can, and that is on there. So this is the one. You can hear it's a different. The other one was like a lower sound because it's a slow and low. That other sounder is like, I compare it to like a Fordham. Like a Fordham is like, a Dremel is 35,000 RPM and a 40 is 12. A Fordham is 12,000 RPM. So this one, the Pete Blair machine, is like the Fordham, and then this one, that's the regular Dremel. But, you guys, when you use these mandrels, you have to set your machine to low, or else it'll blow up the motor in no time because there's a lot of friction. Okay, so never leave your machine on high when you're using one of these sanding mandrels. Now, Pete Blair isn't selling as many of them now because of the way the shipping has went to hell with tariffs and all the new added charges and stuff. But you can buy these sanding mandrels on Amazon. I don't have a link for them. I've gotten all mine always from Pete. So, but that can easily be found on Amazon if you can't get one through Pete. Okay, if you want my advice, I go to Pete first. It's a better quality. Anyways, now that we're reloaded, we can go to town. It'll be a little bit sketchy at first until those corners get rounded. But like on the top there where it ran away on me and got away on me, you just use the flat part of it. How sweet it is. It's almost gone. That other spot. It don't take much before those nicks are gone. I'll do some here. Get those nice spots, nice and smooth, nice graduated planes, if you will. And then back here. And you can use the shape of it, like I am right here, just going. Works better with the Pete Blair one, but I'll show you right here. And I shouldn't be doing this without my face mask on, but I want to talk to you. So I put the Pete Blair one on there. And it starts to make the spot that it makes. It's like a rounded area because of the shape. By the time I'm done carving, I can literally Not just figuratively, but I can literally say that I sand just as much as I carve on a finished product. Put my awl back where it lives. And yeah, that's how you change those sounding mandrels. So how was that? Where the wind blows. The small woodlot 433. Hello, how are you doing? I just subscribed to your channel. Well, thank you. The small woodlot. Welcome to the tribe. Welcome to the family. You're very, very welcome here. Hey, Kevin Dureka is here. I don't know how if I say, sorry, Kevin, if I didn't say that right. Thank you for coming, Kevin. And I appreciate you helping me point out what I was missing on that post that I did. I really appreciate the feedback. And I hope I got everything right. Oh, Grumpy's helping with dinner, but he's there. Oh, Larry, not so loud, please. Yo's asleep. Okay, I'll stop yelling. My brother always says, why are you yelling at us? Wow, the whole gang is here. Yes, it is the small woodlot. Do I know you from Facebook, the small woodlot? Or from... Sorry, I just don't always know what the YouTube names are. Sure is awesome to have new... Hey, Matt's still here. Hi, Matt. Doing good, says the small woodlock. Been watching for a while, says Roy. Thank you, Roy. Thank you very much for coming, sir. Been around a while on other channels, just found yours. Well, thank you, sir. I really, really appreciate that. Give you the wowie. The wowie. From Trees to These is here. Hello. It's all good. Glad to be here, and always a pleasure to try and help, Kevin. Well, that's truly appreciated, sir. I never take it like in a bad way. If somebody says, hey, you missed this, or you forgot to put this link here or whatever, I appreciate it. I go and I will remedy the situation as fast as possible. The small woodlot is my YouTube channel, and I am Pat. Well, very nice to meet you, Pat. My name is Larry, but my nickname from my whole life is Wowie. Matt Carter says, hi, all. Had to go out for a bit. Thank you for coming back. Matt, you were here earlier. That sure means a lot to old Wowie. I'm giving these hearts to all of you that are still hanging in there, watching old Wow. Please hit the like if you haven't. Oh, we still got 5961 watchers. Well, we'll keep working on the watcher then. We're going to keep on working. We're going to keep solving the problem. Solving the problem. I'll keep going for a little while if you guys don't mind hanging out for a little bit longer. If that's okay with you guys. The electric whittler, right on, 100% says where the wind blows. I got some hearts there. I'll give you some hearts back. Okay, I'll keep working a little bit. I'm happy to do it. So now that we're getting in here, now, you know, I could just keep going in there with that wider ball that I was using, that little Kutzall ripper. That's a ripper. That little small one with the extreme flavor. I can just keep going, but I don't want to. I don't want to go too far in with that wide of a burr. I want to get it a smaller one. Now, let's take that. Where is that frickin' Fordham one we had? This one that has a bit of a, but this might have too much of a point on it to do what I want. But I'm going to put it in there and see. And then I'm just going to use the end of it to hopefully go and start creating a tighter channel in there. Okay? That's what I'm trying to do. And then I can get in farther and get that little shadow pop that I love to do in the hood. And, whoa. That was really hard to get out. I might have ruined the collet of that. Those collets that you get in there in your flex shaft, they will run out after a while, man. If you notice that they can start to slide or whatever. And I have a little trick. Well, it's just something I remind myself. But when you put in your burr, if it's a 1/8 burr, make a 1/8 shape. I mean, a 1/8 space between your nut and the burr itself, at least. But a 1/8. So 1/8 burr, 1/8 space, okay? And then if you're working on something that is using a quarter inch shank, 1/4 inch burr, 1/4 inch space, at least. All right? You don't ever put your burr right up against your nut there. You call it nut. You don't want to do that. But it's just the way when I learned, when I first started carving, was I just went by the size of the burr. 1/8 burr, 1/8 space. 1/4 inch burr, 1/4 inch space. Solving the problem. Solving the problem. Okay, I know I'm just being goofy, but this is real stuff. This is real stuff that I've learned along the way, and I want to share it with you guys. I want you guys to learn with me as I work, and I also want to encourage people out there that are just watching that you can do this too. You can do it, especially if you got around to it. Now, around to it, folks. This little darling is your key to your dreams. No more procrastinating if you got around to it. People always say, well, I'll do it when I get around to it. Yeah? Well, now you got one. I'm getting more of these made. But right now, these are just like super, super VIP pieces that I'll sometimes send in packages and stuff. But I think it's 10 for $80 off Etsy. So they're a little bit pricey, but when you're talking about dreams and killing the demon of procrastination, that's worth it to get yourself a little round to it. And that's a shout out to my grand folks. They taught me about, my brother and I, about the round to it. And we were always just mesmerized because my grandma had one on their fridge and it was cut out of a newspaper. And it was like the official round to it. And it had a little write-up inside of the round thing. And it had filigree and stuff. And it was really, really like ornate looking and really, really like official. Like it looked like one of those degrees, right? That you see that people have. And my grandma said, no, that's a very special thing, kids. Because when you get around to it, you can't say, I'll do it when I get around to it. So any dream or anything that you want to do, you can do it once you get one of those. So I always wanted to make our own. And now I'm doing it. Okay, just a little bit more carving, folks. And then we'll talk a little bit more, do a little bit of sanding, and see how you guys are doing. Thank you for being here. Holy smokes. I started with firewood, and then I'm just going to read this quick, because it's a new friend here. And Pat, the small woodlot, says, it started with firewood and has evolved into farm work. Minor electrical, mechanical, and now getting into woodworking. Also some restoration of older woodworking tools like my lathe and bandsaw. That sounds really, really cool. When I'm off of here, let's get to 67 likes, says Serafina Daly. Thank you, sister. But when I get off of here, the small woodlot, I will, I don't think I can do it while let me see, I'll hit these little numbers. I will, I can't just subscribe from here, or else I'm going to go to another, I'm going to leave this. Right when I'm done, I'm going to go and subscribe. I promise. Thank you very much. Richard Bunt is here. Thank you. Thank you, Richard. I appreciate that. And Serafina Daly, let's get to 76 likes, she said. I'm only at 51, sister, but let's see if we can get there. Sure would appreciate it. These hearts are for you. I appreciate all y'all. Thank you very much. Okay, let's do a little bit with this little typhoon. See if it does what we want. We just want to get in there deeper, create more space in there, and then we can start rounding that face with no features. The faceless face. My hair is just in a real state right now. Wait till you guys see. Go! Here we go!
yeah. Oh yeah. We're getting there. Woo! Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's what I like. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, well, I can tell you. I'll just bring you back a little bit. This is coming out just the way I want. Now you see these little spots that I've been like talking about with the little punch of shadow there that I like to get. That I'm starting to round that face. Get really, really deep in behind here. It's kind of like in the far corners, like the far corners of your neck. You get deep back in there, and that's happening. And I'm liking it. We got these tiny, just little tiny accents to kind of show the flow of the robe, right? Now back here, we're getting that rounded more so you can see. I still think it looks a little bit like humpbackish, so I'll take more of this away. Like it's just, you just keep going until the finished piece clicks with the vision you have in your mind. All right? And again, we're doing our best with the wood that we got, right? But I think that's a pretty cool watcher so far on a solid piece of old frickin' oak post. What you guys think? Hey? Yo! Now put a little front light on, huh? If that'll work, stay there, right? No, I don't know. Well, that's okay. That kind of looks okay. Like that. Can you guys see that? Whoa, have a good day, Matt. You gotta go, Matt. Good night, Matt. Thank you. Thank you very much for coming. Man, it's bucketing down here. Why? How is it out your way, says Mark. They're in New Zealand. Good night, or good day, Matt. Good day, mate. And good on you, fair income, mate. I appreciate you, mate. You're my brother. So are you, Mark. You're my brothers. Thank you very much for coming. We don't celebrate Thanksgiving here. I'm going to leave now to make myself a sort of supper. Thanks, Larry, and have a good evening, everyone. Thank you very much. So, I appreciate you, sister. You have a great evening. You look after Johan. Looks awesome, Larry, says Mark. Thank you, sir. Looks great. Wowzy, says Kevin. You know Kevin's from the Carbide Infusion crew when they call me Wowzy. But it's okay. It is okay. Good night. Good night. So, these hearts are for you, sister. And for all you guys. Thank you all for hanging in. We're already at 4:13, so that's 2 hours and 13 minutes so far. And somebody will say, and look at, he has barely done anything on that frickin' thing. But no, it's slow going when you're carving rock. Joe, 44 likes. That's pretty darn good for a wowie. Oh man, I sure appreciate you guys being here and supporting us. It means so much to my brother and myself. Good night, so thank you guys. Thank you all for coming. I'm just gonna break and see if anybody else has any questions or say anything to say about the watcher. Oak is slow going, says where the wind blows. Yes, it is, man. First time I've ever carved oak. Because I'm still, yes, I've been carving I'm from the UK Thank you, Roy. Thank you for tuning in, brother. It's late then. What is it, like midnight? I think his back is good. That's good. Thank you. Getting just a little bit more shape. You just got to do what you can with that little bit of wood that you got, right? But it's really it's the shadow. That's what I always emphasize, man. Shadow play is the carver. It's your magic ability, you know? And just a little punch of shadow in there. And then just a little bit of a nice rounded spot there to show that there's a foot in there in the cloak, right? Little tiny things that you can do just for those visual effects. And in the end, it's going to be like, whoa, that's a pretty neat thing. And you say, yeah, I was just made out of a scrap piece of oak post that got tossed aside that my brother saved from some free pile. Now look at it. It's a watcher protecting. You know, these things are a form of wood spirit. And wood spirits are protectors of the home. You see where this is all going? How this is all tying together? These are protectors for the people that own them. They're watchers. They stand by. They're sentinel guardians. And they mean a frick of a lot to me. For such a simple form. But yes, you too can do this. I would pick a less hard wood, but bang one out before January 1st, you guys, and you can be part of this awesome challenge that's going on. And be eligible for the awesome, amazing prizes. We got amazing prizes. It's an oak stair tread that I got out of the trash at work, says the electric whittler. Yes. Oh, okay, you've been carving on something, on a piece of oak lately, says the electric whittler. It is, man. It's hard. Like I keep saying, I'm gonna wreck my burrs, but that's what they're there for. Frick, wowie. Jordy's watcher is really looking good, says Happy Curmudgeon. Oh shit, I haven't seen any updates. But yes, that when I saw that new video, that was the first time. Like he kept it hidden from me. He kept a tarp over it. And I hadn't seen nothing. I hadn't seen anything. And he's really putting the time into it. Like he's making a special script for, you know, what his watcher is about and everything, and trying to use, you know, apps that he doesn't usually use, and just, you know, expanding his imagination to make it special. And that's really that means, you know, there's nothing like it when people put their time. And I was saying to him, I said, I know that, you know, I don't have a lot of money for these gifts and stuff, but I had to make sure I bought something special, because this is what it comes down to, you guys. Our time is the most precious thing in our lifetimes, okay? In our lives, our time, it's not a commodity. I say the most precious commodity. It's not a commodity. It's the most precious energy there is. Our essence, what we do with our time every day, right? So if you take the time to take part on this challenge and create a watcher and put your soul, because every creation, every carving, doesn't matter what art you do, it's an investment of soul, okay? That's what Meraki means. It's the spirit that you put into your creation, okay? Now, the fact that you've done that for our challenge deserves prizes. It deserves recognition, okay? Because I am truly honored that you're using your precious time to take part, okay? That's, Roy says, one man's rubbish is another man's treasure. You got that right, sir. You got that right. And thank you so much for tuning in. We are Tribe Worldwide, and I know it's late, Roy. And if you don't know anything about Two Brothers, One Vision, Roy, basically our foundations are finding the old and lost and discarded materials, and that's wood and copper included, brass. Darren works with sterling silver, but we don't find much scrap of that. But it is to find these lost and discarded materials and give them a new life. And that's why our jewelry, our Blung jewelry, we use upcycled keys and tokens and trinkets, antiques. They're always antiques. We don't use anything that is freshly bought or off of some, you know, factory line in China or nothing. All the stuff we use are over 25 years old. The keys, some of our keys are 100 years old, and we give them new lives. Like, there's nothing more magical than having a skeleton key that's over 100 years old hanging around your neck that you can hold, and you can put your intent and your wishes and your hopes into that token, into that amulet, and it carries the power. So our keys, when I send somebody a piece of blung, I write on a little piece of paper. It says original blung jewelry by Two Brothers One Vision, and it has our logo. And on the back of it, I write blung. What does yours stand for? Question mark. Because every person's is different. Some people will say, this is my key to happiness. Some people say, this is my key to success at my job. Some people say, this is my key to love and for finding love. And a simple little key on a chain can mean and hold so much power. And that's what our blung jewelry is all about. And that's what I'm trying to ramble about. I'm sorry. I will stop that. I'm going to do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Let's see if we can't hit 45 likes before I go anywhere, you guys. We're at 44. If you're that one person that hasn't done it yet, please hit your screen, whatever it may be. Give that freaking algorithm hamster what it wants, what it loves. There she is. There's Algie. Come on, one more, you guys. One more like, and that little fricker will be happy for the day. I'm just kidding. Well, no, I'm not, but Algie does need to be fed. But I think that was a pretty darn good session, you guys. We're already past. We're at 420. 420, you guys. You know what that means? Hey, Grumpy, I want to hear the click, click, click of a lighter out there, you guys. Click, click, click of a lighter. Larry, are you going to have a post for all the watchers? Asks Happy Curmudgeon. Well, I'm glad you asked about that, sir. I'm not only going to have a post with all the pictures, I'm going to make videos with all the pictures. I'm going to do a freaking goddamn finale extravaganza where I do the draws and everything, and we talk about everybody's, oh yeah, everybody's, all of your precious pieces are going to be seen and freaking celebrated. That's the word I'm looking for. I'll eat an edible, says Mark. Oh, look at all these puffs. My screen is showing 45. Well, that's awesome. We made her, guys. 45 likes is pretty darn good for a wowie. Thank you very much. Derek Predicaton. Hello, wow. He says, hello, wowie. Hello, Derek. Thank you for coming, brother. You came at the end. You came at the end. We've been making watchers. Look at that. Look at that mystical sentinel, eh? Coming out of oak. It is becoming from an oak post. Thank you for popping in. Yeah, we're just doing the old end of the session chat. Talking about a little bit of Two Brothers One Vision. Just kidding. Thank you, Derek. Thanks for another awesome live. Larry says, Mark, you're welcome, sir. Thank you for being here. There is no YouTube without you, folks. That's the darn tootin' truth. Thank you, Derek. I really appreciate that. Thank all y'all for coming. Oh, it's about all I can do today. It's screaming, to be honest, but man, is it worth it being here and having you all here. Thank you. I got a little carving I can do, says the Smalls Woodlot, and I am going to go, and I promise, as soon as I end this live, I'm going to go and find your channel and subscribe and show you the respect back and support. I guess my hair wasn't too that crazy, but the back of the thing goes back here, right? So when I take that thing off and I look at my little mirror, oh, the back of my hair is like, rah! Ah! On live television. Thank you, Kevin. Whittler, says Derek. Thank you. I'd love to see your work, Derek. Do you post videos of your work on your channel? Because I'll go over and subscribe to you too. Really appreciate you folks. You look beautiful, says Where the Wind Blows. Oh, you know, you're going to make Wowie blush. Thank you. I appreciate that. Not posting any yet? Well, if you ever do, Derek, you let me know, because I'm all about supporting my brothers and sisters and the creating that you guys do, because it's all magic. It's all very, very special. And there is no YouTube without you. Thank you very much for being here. I hope you come back next Wednesday. Oh, and one more thing, you guys. At 5 o'clock, Wowie has a little video dropping. Yeah, Wowie went back. This year, it was the second annual Christmas Hospital Auxiliary Christmas Bazaar. And that's a thing that my mother-in-law, Linda, works at the hospital, at the gift shop. And every year the hospital does this big, huge sale, and it's mostly like jams and knitted things and stuff, books, lots of books, some games and stuff, upcycled and recycled things, but also stuff that creators make. And we always go and support and go and show and say hi to Mum T and Katie and myself and her sister and Colleen and Leonard. Leonard is Colleen's husband, my brother, and we all go but I record, right? So last year I made a video of the Christmas Bazaar and the haunted dolls and just the funny, funky shit that I found, and I just get into trouble, right, wherever I go. So I make a little video, I find the haunted dolls, and then I go into the tool table and I see what kind of cool tools that I can find, or just bits and pieces, right? And that's going to drop at 5 o'clock Pacific. So basically, 34 minutes from now, that video drops. It's only short, but just have a watch, have a laugh. I found some really, really cool stuff, and I think you'll like it too. So please do watch for that in 30 minutes. Well, Mark is going. Okay. Yep, happy Thanksgiving to all my friends down south. I love you guys. Be safe in the crazy weather that's hitting. Everybody have a great, great night. Thank you. Thank you for coming. And this has been the WIP Wednesdays. Wowwy'z Workshop. Much love, everybody. Wowie out.